All right, the next item is item number 28, application for certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Manhattan, docket number 15-3367, block 520, lot 83, 43 MacDougal Street in the Charlton King Van Dam Historic District, a Greek Revival style row house built in 1846 to 47. This is an application to modify the roof.
Commissioners, before Tenzing begins, this building was a demolition by neglect building when it was owned by the prior owner. That owner, before we brought a lawsuit, did sell it, and the current owner, who has only owned it for a year or two at this point, is before you with this application. They've already done extensive work shoring and bracing the building and putting on a new roof.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you, Preservation staff. 43 MacDougal Street lies at the corner of MacDougal Street and King Street. The application before you is to modify the roof of the building. These are the historic photographs. It's at the corner with the facade facing MacDougal and then King. That's the facade facing MacDougal. And that's the current condition. The facade at the front has brick with brownstone lintels and has a ground floor commercial which is currently boarded up. And that's how it looks like at the existing elevations. There is a fire escape, which is a non-historic fire escape. It's not a part of this proposal because that removal can be done at staff level. As part of the proposal, the owner is also planning to restore the storefronts, which are at the ground floor. That's also staff level. Currently, it has a flat roof. The proposal is to change the profile of the roof. It will be visible. I'll show you the visibility later on. What happens is that at the attic floor, which is these attic windows, there is a requirement for height. The height of this is currently about 5 feet, I think. And so it is unusable. These windows are at almost at like your, I guess at your
Waist,
waist.
Yeah.
And that is the existing roof and the proposed roof, which has a little hip there. The visibility, you can see it from these locations along MacDougal Street. It will be very slightly visible. That is the line of visibility that you will see on MacDougal. What's the red thing? Is that chimney? That is an existing chimney. And along 7th Avenue, it will be slightly visible in conjunction with, that's the yellow that you'll be seeing from 7th Avenue when you're standing right at the back. So that's the visibility. You'll see it. That is the profile that is being proposed. The architect is taking the vocabulary of studio windows that are present on historic buildings in this district and the adjacent Greenwich Village Historic District. That is the top floor roof, and that is the profile that they're going with. That's a detailed section that shows what the roof currently, which is flat, at the highest it will be 9 feet, and from 8 feet to 9 feet there is a slight slope. The proposed roof is going to be not touching the front and the rear facade, so it's going to be clear of it. That's the existing conditions on the rear facade. It's in really bad condition. We have a staff level permit to rebuild the rear facade. It's again, this is out of the scope of the proposal. We're showing it because the owner has been working with staff over the last year and a half to do the restorative work at the back, and as part of this work, they're doing some work at the storefronts. And that's more details on the storefronts that they want to restore. The owner is here if, to answer any questions that you might have. And the architect just joined us right now.
Okay, good. Let's see if we have anything. This is a phenomenal success story. This building was this far from being lost, and I mean lost. John Weiss saved it. The new owners and Tenzing together have are bringing it back, and it's just an amazing job. I'm not sure we need if anything to add. Tenzing has just gone over it in detail. Unless we have questions, I would choose to go to testimony. Is there testimony? No? Okay. I think it's incredible. And by the way, this is also not to prejudice the application or help it or hurt it, but this is Tenzing's last application. here, which is another huge loss. He will be working in Queens, however, and we hope to see him, or we will certainly be watching him over in his future. You can watch him closely, so. This was actually an amazingly fitting project application for you to conclude on, because it was such an extensive rescue, frankly. So I think it's all amazing and appropriate. Fred?
Yeah, great save, everybody. Incredible save. I think what's being proposed, too, is maybe the most germane thing right now around the table. Is completely appropriate. I think the careful attention to visibility at the roof level, even though we see it, there's precedent with the glass studio windows in the village, but we see it a lot less than a lot of the windows in the village that have been added over time, often before designation perhaps, but they still characterize the village. So I think all in all, this is a wonderful story and a very appropriate application.
Okay, this is so sorry we'd love to wax more up and keep going, and maybe you'd like to hear that, but I think you're probably most interested in hearing what we've just said, which is our conclusion that it's a perfectly appropriate restoration and recovery. And again, John Weiss is near lawsuit to bring it back, to make that save right at the very beginning was instrumental. So I thank everybody for a great result. And congratulations. I'm glad it's in your hands, and will be in your hands. So with that, we will close the hearing with a motion and a second, and I will do the C of A for 43 MacDougal Street in the Charlton King Van Dam Historic District, recommending a Greek Revival row house built in 1846, 1847, application to modify the roof. Recommend approval, finding that the top floor does not have enough headroom to provide code-compliant occupiable space, and that raising the roof and installing skylights will make this floor usable in the least obtrusive manner possible, while maintaining the size and placement of the existing attic story windows. That the modified raised roof will be minimally visible from limited vantage points along MacDougal, over the principal facade, and from 7th Avenue over the rear facade in context with other existing rooftop additions in the block. That the proposal does not call for any rooftop additions, railings, or mechanicals, and will maintain the simple, undisturbed roof line of the building and its neighbors. Second, all in favor? Aye, opposed? That's approved. Thank you all very much.